If you know me, you know that I get very excited when I'm around food. So right now we're gonna watch a video of the Air Force making 10,000 dishes for 4,000 cadets. Let's roll.
These cooks are grilling 4,200 beef tenderloin steaks at the U.S. Air Force Academy's 225,000 square foot dining hall near Colorado Springs, Colorado. And that's just for dinner.
What is that? Frozen vegetables, maybe.
Over the course of 3 meals, the staff at Mitchell Hall will make 590 pounds of hash browns, 300.
Okay, I have heard about hash browns, but I do not know what is this, because apparently it's not an European type of dish.
75 pounds of eggs and 90 pounds of bacon for breakfast. Lunch will require an additional 127 pounds of bacon, 1,700 pounds of waffle fries, and
waffle fries? What the hell is a waffle fry?
1,400 burger patties. On any given day, the cooks here are preparing 10,000 meals.
Okay, this apparently is happening in the US, of course, but I'm not aware of some of these foods, like these waffle fries. We call waffles sweet, a type of sweet food that's made with pancake dough.
Biggest dining facility I've ever worked in. You look at 430 tables, family style, and you got a starch, a meat, and the vegetable. You're looking at about 1,300 pans of food that are going on the table on a daily basis for lunch here.
But feeding 4,000 Air Force cadets isn't the same as feeding your average college student.
4,000 cadets. That's a lot of food, and that is high quality. Maybe not so much high quality, but it looks awesome, tasty, and high, rich in calorie, and apparently in protein. These guys are getting a ton of meat.
Their energy needs are quite high compared to the average person, where most people are trying to eat like 2,000 calories. These kids, I want them eating like much more than that, and consistently throughout the day.
And on top of the bigger calorie count, lunch comes with a set of Air Force traditions 3 days a week. We got to see how one of the military's largest dining facilities...
This looks like typical chicken nuggets, like the ones that ruin your health. But whatever, it's free calories, cheap calories.
Quantities of food across 3 different meals.
The vegetables are frozen.
Mitchell Hall has an annual budget of $20 million.
Not as healthy as it looked.
In 2022, the dining facility purchased 546,000 pounds of meat, 1.2 million pounds of produce, and 21,000 gallons of milk, which were served across 3.5 million meals. Today's dinner is not just any meal. It's the Cadet Wings Recognition Dinner.
Recognition is a 3-day event where the freshman class is put through many stressful events to test their mental and physical stamina.
This is like the Harry Potter dinner which they have when fresh people are coming. They only have good dinner once, and then after that it's just kidney beans.
Make it to recognition dinner. It's a sense of accomplishment. The freshman class is recognized as the fully qualified members of the Cadet Wing.
To celebrate, the staff is preparing 4,000 steaks, 1,600 pounds of tortellini, and 708 pounds of
that's a type of pasta, or as we call it in Bulgaria, spaghetti. We call everything spaghetti. Please, if you're an Italian, excuse me.
Carrots.
For the audacity.
The first steak hits the grill at 1 o'clock to ensure the meal is ready on time, 5 hours before dinner is served. The steaks move in an assembly line fashion. They're removed from their packaging, then placed on the grill, where they're seasoned and then cooked. They're then moved into a pan, wrapped, and wheeled away to be stored in hot carts to keep them warm until dinner.
And I had steak only once in my life, and it was only one bite.
The pre-made pasta is poured into pans, topped with pesto Parmesan Alfredo sauce, and moved into a rotating oven to cook. Preparing this much food requires an incredible amount of organization, but not
And
just today.
how
A meal
many
like this
workers
is
are
planned
doing
out
this?
more than a month in advance.
We really want to work 6 to 8 weeks ahead and commit, we call it committing our menu for that far in advance. Sometimes we'll find that in 8 weeks there's a holiday meal, so we need to make special preparations and changes to the menu for any special events that might be coming up.
And the recognition dinner is one of the most
So far it seems that most of their food is pre-prepared, so they only cook it, they boil it, they burn it, they put it in the oven, and that's it. They are not making anything
special
fresh.
meals of the year. In the front of the house, the dining area is prepped for the cadets. Back in the kitchen, onions, carrots, and mushrooms are
See,
cooked
everything
with a
is
medley of
cut in
seasonings
advance,
for the vegetarian
frozen.
beef stew, while the rest of the staff strains 788 pounds of vegetables,
Which I'm not gonna
and
complain
moves
if
them
it's
into
free
hot
food.
carts for dinner service. As cadets begin filing into the dining hall, freshmen, known as fourth-year cadets, typically have to pass out plates and silverware for the table. After that, the fourth years read and study the Air Force Academy Handbook, known as
I really need to find a video of the cadets in Bulgaria, what kind of food they eat, because I know most of it is kidney beans, and sometimes they get chicken with rice, pork with rice and such foods, but nothing as fancy as these guys are getting.
contrails as they wait to be seated, while upperclassmen quiz them. Tonight, the fourth years become fully recognized members of the cadet wing and will no longer have to perform these duties.
So during the year of freshman year, we're required to come in here, and after everything's set up, we have to hold our contrails at the position of attention and study them. So they make us do this, to form discipline because we're standing at attention, holding our arms up. So on Saturday night, it's a fun tradition to come in and have your upperclassmen do that with random objects. And then you can ask them questions like they would with us, with our knowledge. We're like yelling at them in a fun manner, and it's just a really cool experience, tradition that we do.
Well, that's odd for me.
Before dinner ends, the wait staff brings out Mitch's Mountains,
Some
a
kind of
dessert made
insider
earlier in
joke.
the week by upperclassmen, just for today's occasion.
The Mitch's workers came in and they brought us these boxes, and we're like, oh, what's that? And then they open them, and it's just this pile of dessert. And so it's pound cake on the bottom, topped with a bunch of scoops of ice creams and whipped cream and cherries, and American flags on top to celebrate our country.
That's super cool. Okay, sugar got me excited finally.
And so that was one of the cool experiences for us as freshmen.
After the meal, the staff in charge of the recognition
That's
dinner
super
head home. In just 8 hours, a fresh team of cooks will arrive to prepare the next meal.
3:30 a.m. Did they even eat, or this is earlier
for
in the
today has
morning?
gone back down. We had to increase because of the weekend for recognition. So breakfast, we have scrambled eggs, bacon, and the roundabout hash browns. Let's have a good shift.
This
Okay,
morning,
please show
the
me
cooks
how
only
do you
have
make this
2.5
hash brown
hours
thing.
to prepare breakfast for 1,500 students. It's a smaller meal because, unlike most lunches during the week, cadets aren't required
Something
to attend,
already prepared.
but it's still a challenge to finish on time.
What is this? Looks like
The
oats.
biggest challenge that we have right now is making sure that we
Mozzarella?
have good staff on
No,
hand
these are
to
eggs.
make sure that the job gets done on a daily basis. We are open 7 days a week, and we do serve 3 meals per day, so the work never stops.
Like many other kitchens, Mitchell Hall is still
Chicken
recovering
nuggets?
from a staffing shortage caused by the pandemic. The 8 cooks on staff for this meal boil 375 pounds of pre-cooked scrambled eggs, heat up 90
Pre-cooked scrambled eggs. What on earth is a pre-cooked egg? Why would anyone do this to their people?
pounds of bacon, and cook 560 pounds of hash browns in an industrial
Is it
sized
so
fryer
hard to
known
boil
as
an
the
egg?
Monster.
Is it so hard to
Our
make
staffing dwindled.
scrambled
We've
eggs,
had to
man?
go to a lot of pre-done convenience items. For instance, boil and bag mashed potatoes, boil and bag mac and cheese. It's a very time-saving opportunity for us with the short staff that we have.
It's a proven method for serving large quantities of nutritious
And saving
food with
money,
only a
probably.
handful of
Who
cooks.
knows?
the staff will spend the majority of their time transferring breakfast items into pans, where they will be set on the serving line for cadets to grab and go, or dine in. But just as breakfast is being served, lunch prep is already underway.
So lunch today, the cadets are getting what we call the California burger. They're getting waffle fries today. Again, they get run through our...
So waffle fries. This looks like just fried potatoes in a specific type of form, maybe.
As well. And we got the lettuce, tomato, onion kits that come in fresh, and those
fresh food, finally. Well. Fresh
on
salads.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there's no room for error in preparing the lunch meal. All 4,000 cadets are required to dine in at Mitchell Hall, and they're only given 20 minutes to eat.
There's only about a 30-minute window that they have between classes. Then right after that, they're going to another class of military
That's
training.
pretty much enough
so
to eat.
There's only a small window built in
20
for them
minutes.
to eat in Mitchell Hall.
That limits their options. We can't provide endless options in a meal like that, so they do get their one main option. We usually have a lean protein option for them, and then we have a vegetarian option, and that's it. We're at like a traditional college, you're gonna go in and you're gonna
that's
have
perfect
different
if you
types
ask
of
me.
cuisines available. We don't have that necessarily here. I think it's just the scale that we serve on is the biggest difference in how we provide food to our cadets.
Yeah, pre-cooked, obviously.
Prepping the burger patties for 4,000 cadets takes about 4 hours. Cooks start by laying out the pre-cooked patties on a tray before moving them into the oven to heat up. In another part of the kitchen, cooks work together to feed 1,700 pounds of waffle fries into the deep fryer conveyor
potatoes,
belt.
man. It's just
As the
potatoes.
fries exit, they are immediately put into pans that are later loaded into hot carts. Meanwhile, vegetables are boiled and seasoned in 2 100-gallon kettles.
So what we have here is our 100-gallon steam-jacketed kettles. We cook a very diverse amount of product through here. Right now we're doing Italian vegetables. That's one of the vegetables for lunch service today. Typically on veg, we'll do about 200 pounds worth of vegetables for a lunch service.
Fresh
On the lower level
cucumbers.
of the kitchen, staff works to wash, chop, and pack fruits and vegetables.
Finally,
for
someone
meals planned
doing
later in the
real
week.
chef,
Prepping
real
food
chef
days
work,
in
real
advance
cook
allows
work.
staff to
No,
seamlessly
he's not
serve
even cutting
thousands
them.
of required meals.
For a simple second, I thought he's gonna cut them by hand, but they have a machine, which is wise for such an amount of vegetables that they have to cut. But still, when am I gonna see someone doing real chef, real cooking work instead of just putting this there and taking it out after 30 minutes, not even watching it? It's so automatic.
There's a
Semi.
buffalo chicken wrap, buffalo chicken tenders for vegetarians, waffle fries.
But even more crucial to their efficiency is planning the menu weeks in advance and storing the meals in the dining facility's 20,000 square foot warehouse.
When we are ordering foods, that order goes in all at the same time for the whole week. They get put into a category, and depending on that category is the day that they arrive.
Once everything comes up the elevator, we'll separate it and take it to wherever it needs to be. We have 4 storage departments: the warehouse, the freezer, meat, and dairy.
While the warehouse staff
That's
takes
a lot of
inventory
milk.
and stocks next week's food, the kitchen staff is wrapping up lunch, moving the last few batches of food onto warming trays. Outside, cadets get into formation for the dine-in lunch, which is mandatory 3 days a week.
I never understood the army. Never
Air
will.
Force Academy band begins playing as the cadet wing marches toward Mitchell Hall.
Nice mountains.
2,500 men in the making march en masse to mess for meals like Mother never made.
Since the Air Force Academy was established in 1954, cadets have been required to march into lunch. Once inside, fourth years set the table and serve the food.
We set out all the plates, we set out forks, knives, and spoons if they're needed.
The ones on the footage were even eating, sitting straight and having their elbows on the side, which if you have ever done martial arts, having your elbows away from your body is a very bad thing, but apparently the Air Force knows something we do not.
Was at the position called the cold pilot. I pour the waters and set that all for the table. And then the person next to him is called the hot pilot, which he would get all the food ready, everything, the meat, the vegetables, and the carbs. He would set that for each freshman and every upperclassman.
Today is the freshman class's first lunch since recognition, where those responsibilities no longer fall on them. They dine like the rest of the cadet wing.
It is impossible to meet 4,000 cadets' nutritional needs.
How are
and
they
food
not
likes
fat?
and dislikes. And so really it's working on them on an individual basis.
I want to see their
emphasizing the
workouts, their
importance of
routines.
regular eating,
Because that's a
and
lot
how
of
that
calories.
affects both their, not only their academic performance, but their physical performance as well.
The Air Force Academy
Okay.
follows the nutrition standards outlined by the U.S. military.
Are they
which
doing this
requires
every
its
single
most
day?
active members to eat up to 4,700 calories a day.
These
for
are great
men
workouts.
And 3,000 a day for women. Mitchell Hall provides as much as 5,000 calories in a day, not including food from Falcon Express, the grab-and-go station inside the dining hall.
I order every single item that goes into there. So I try to balance it out too with things that are good and healthy for
That's
them, that
super
provide a
cool,
lot of
man.
energy and nutrition.
So you get paid to work out and you get to eat as much as you like. This was my dream when I was a teenager. Of course, they are gonna serve the country later and they may die. But this is good teenage years if you're someone who cannot afford much food.
With some fun things as well, like Cracker Jacks and potato chips and stuff like that.
At 12:15, lunch comes to an end. Cadets clear their tables and head to their next class. The waitstaff begins cleaning the tables and resetting the dining area. Back in the kitchen, the cooking staff starts prepping for dinner, which will be served
finally
in 5
cooking.
hours.
Real cooking. And that was it, guys. Hard labor goes into these places, and I'm pretty sure the cadets deserve it, and everyone deserves what they get. Even here we deserve what we get in Bulgaria. Please, sorry if I sounded ignorant, but I will honestly never understand the army and its function. But that's it. Enjoy life, and I'll see you guys in the next time, and subscribe for more.